Good morning, beautiful. How are you doing today? I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, and we're looking at the GOES 17 satellite right now, which I'm excited about because it's going to give us pretty much full coverage over all American territories when it is up and fully implemented. And good news, guys, we are now in the 48 hours to save THORNEWS and keep me as your planetary defense commander, which means you're going to get a lot of videos over the next 48 hours. As every month, I rely on your contributions and donations to continue to kick ass and bring you the honest, inspirational, and hilarious news through my viewpoint. Because without guys like me, you would just get the standard mainstream media bullshit where the corporations tell you what they want you to think. All right, so with that, let's get to it, because we have a storm that is going through the United States right now. It is bringing snow and rain, but the main focus of this video will be we got flood coming to Texas and the Gulf Coast, and so that is going to cause some major problems. Also, this storm has brought a lot of tornadoes up through Illinois and other parts of the United States, but as you can see, it's kind of a broken horseshoe shape, and it will continue to move east. So be on the lookout and drive safe if you are going to drive. Now, we are looking at the overall pattern here, and another area I'm very, very concerned about is California. The pattern has shifted, and the jet stream has gone south. Ooh, look at our little Chile volcano signal. And so California is going to be getting hit by wave after wave after wave of rain over the next few months until the pattern reshifts. And we've been getting this signal in the Gulf and in the Caribbean. And one of my predictions that I've been making is that I think we could see some volcanic activity in the Caribbean very soon in the near future. And then after that, California would follow. But California is probably in the next 3 years tops, or minimum, however you want to look at it. And also, if you are in Europe and the United Kingdom, I'm very worried about you too, because you guys will be getting hit by our wave after wave after wave after wave pattern. Now, it has been active. The earth has been ringing like a bell. You can ring my bell. Ring my bell. Over 230 earthquakes recorded in the greater Anchorage area since the major 7.0 earthquake yesterday morning. Incredible. Also scary for the residents and places that saw extensive damage. Yeah, we saw some pretty nasty images of infrastructure being destroyed. And as your planetary defense commander, I've been tracking infrastructure damage done to the United States by severe weather, earthquakes, mudslides, wildfires since the start of 2017. And by the end of 2018, in 2 years, we are going to have $4 trillion worth of damage done. And so Mother Nature is knocking shit down faster than we can repair it or build it. And I've been suggesting we build brand new cities of the future in safe spots since 2015. So when hurricanes, wildfires displace large numbers of people, we will have places to go, and the coasts aren't really that safe right now. We can get into that later, but right now we've had 147 earthquakes in the last 24 hours that are 2.5 or larger, which is one of the highest totals we've seen, but of course a lot of that comes from Alaska. But as you can see, it is rocking all over, and the fact that there's a lot of activity here concerns me. Anytime there are a lot of activity along the seams of the Ring of Fire, it's something to pay attention to. I was talking about the tornadoes that led through yesterday. Damaging tornado strikes Taylorville, Illinois. And I wanted to say, on our 1-year anniversary, happy anniversary, baby. All right, one of multiple tornadoes that tore through Illinois Saturday. And that was a pretty hair-raising incident. As you can see, brought to us by Weather DAC, tornadic supercells raging away in Illinois. Pretty nasty atmospheric instability we've had going on. And so the geomagnetic storm from the 6th time passing coronal hole wasn't really that bad. And it is now stepping down, so that is good news. Hopefully the earthquake activity will decrease, but with earthquakes you never know, but sometimes you get good ideas. I do always highly recommend Suspicious Observers and Dutch Synths with their earthquake knowledge, and also Cranky Weather Guy for weather. He breaks it down in his blog, stormhamster.com, every day in a really great way. I'll leave a link to his blog in my information box under my PayPal link, by the way. Also, we're looking at an Antarctic volcano steamboat. Just off the coast of Antarctica, there is a circular island named Deception. This is probably the most accurate sentence I've read all year. Deception Island is actually an active volcano. Deception Island is actually an active volcano. I know that when Kilauea volcano erupted in Hawaii, a lot of people without compassion were like, what do you expect? You live on a volcano. Technically, buddy, we all live on a volcano. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, what else are we talking about? Oh, in interesting news, a spotless sun hurls a coronal mass ejection towards Earth. Yesterday, November 30th, a filament of magnetism in the sun's southern hemisphere erupted, hurling a CME into space. It's going to deliver a glancing blow. On December 5th, possibly sparking polar geomagnetic storms. And it's kind of like the reverse of real life, where a glancing blow is better than a full blow. The solar wind has arrived, and they're beautiful. One day, I would like to see the auroras with my own eyes. Okay, and so we've already looked at that. Here's our sun, and here was our giant coronal hole, which has been on the sun for 6 times in a row, and will probably be there for 7. And as you can see, we will be facing a new coronal hole probably in about 3 days. And so that'll bring the solar wind factor up, and somewhere between when the coronal hole faces us and is geo-effective and this solar wind getting here is usually when we get the uptick in earthquakes. Scientists don't agree, professional ones anyways. And so professional scientists don't even think the sun affects earthquakes or volcanoes, which is the craziest shit I've ever heard. But that is why it's good to have people like me doing what we do. All right, we covered that. Now we're looking at the weather over the 48 hours. We're going to get like a day and a half semi-calm but cold period in areas. I know it was like 80 degrees yesterday in Houston, and it's December. And so, as you can see, these patterns will move out, and anything along that tail that's moving out in the south, you need to watch, because there are always chances of tornadoes. But as you can see, the West Coast is about to get hit again. And now, one thing I've been tracking here is this: Texas, you're going to get flooded. We are going to get flooded. Now, we've been watching model runs, and the models haven't been that consistent. This is the 8th, which is about 6 days away. But you have a weird pattern coming through this low. I think it'll actually go through more of California than the models are predicting. I could be wrong. We shall see. But the low isn't that nasty. But the models have been, but once it gets to Texas, it starts to get really nasty. And so, so this would be like, we get the bad rain on Friday. There's 12 hours, 18 hours. There's a full 24 hours of some heavy, heavy rain. And then that pattern will continue along the Gulf through Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas. And then here's another thing is, will this coalesce and compress and cause more damage to the northeast, or will it just move out to sea? That we will have to watch. Right now the models have it taken out to sea, but I have a feeling it'll go more north and east. Like I said, as you can see here, that's a super nasty storm over a 24-hour period. It's not just going to bring rain, it is going to bring a whole lot of rain. And as you can see, the pattern will continue. Another low will hit California, boom, and then it'll move south and then re-get nasty about 6 days away. So Texas and the Gulf is about to get a shit ton of rain in dangerous and damaging ways through the middle of December. And as you can see, the West Coast will continue to get hit wave after wave after wave. And so they're going to get some pretty rainy patterns. Now look at this rain band. I've been tracking the rain bands. I'm the rain man of rain bands, and oh, ladies love that. And that rain band is A, it's giant, and B, it's shapely, and C, it's wet. Plus, there's some pretty nasty low pressure signatures in there. And so, as I'd mentioned before, the United Kingdom, Europe, you guys are about to get nailed. Wave after wave after wave. There's Storm 1, and look at that rain band, man. That is a national security risk to multiple nations because it continues to reoccur again and again while getting bigger. So it's going to continue to cause problems for a whole lot of people. And as you could look, and then you have like weird cyclonic features that continue to go into Spain and areas around there. But yeah, everywhere from the United Kingdom, Ireland, down into Spain, you guys are going to be getting wet and windy weather during this 2-week period. So please be prepared, because we should all work together as an Earth family to deal with these Earth weather changes. Carbon is a factor. The sun is a factor. Planetary angular momentum is a factor. The other planets in our solar system are factors. You know, the weather is a very complicated dynamic process. It should be treated as such, but we like to act like we know everything. Want to know why? Because we got smartphones. Okay, and now we're going to look at the rain band patterns that will be going into California. And the one frame I had stopped on, though I didn't mention, I hit the play button ahead of time, was, dang, look at this right, where is it, the end. The very end, that storm right here, watch the thickness of how much, that's a whole lot of rain. I mean, that looks like it's enough rain for like the first 5 states of the West Coast. And see how it's just, I mean, that right there, if you lump that over the West Coast, that's, even though we have 2 weeks to worry about this, that's something we need to be concerned about, because if that thing, wherever that thing goes, is going to cause major flooding, major problems. If that heads to California, it's total deep shit territory, man. If it gets pulled up to Washington, Oregon, Canada, either way, wherever that is going to cause major troubles. Okay? Now we're looking again at the GOES 17 preliminary satellite. But as you can see, California has its next wave moving through. And this is the one, I think, that is supposed to be dragged south. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't appear to be going as south as they're predicting. And not only will it bring rain, it'll bring some heavy winds. This is that storm today, the areas it's going to be affecting. As I'm saying, if you're in the yellow area, there's a small chance for a tornado spin-up. This looks old. It's from November 30th. That's weird. They haven't updated it. I guess they just, hurricane season's over. Oh yeah, what a great way to say. I guess they don't monitor anymore now that hurricane season's over. But hurricane season is over. That's another thing. As far as I know, I'm the only human being on the planet that accurately predicted the United States of America and its territories would get hit by 2 or more hurricanes 2 years in a row. And I'm actually predicting it for next year, and I'm calling a hurricane to hit the United States at about Category 4, Category 5, within about a week of October 10th, 2019. So we're going to test my abilities about 10 months out. That's how good I've gotten. So here's our severe weather outlook, and as you can see, some of the areas in Florida and Georgia, Alabama have some flood watches and warnings in effect right now. Stay on top of that. Here's our water vapor loop. And here are the areas of concern that we were talking about as this pushes east. And then here's just a focus on I'm watching this area as it moves and progresses. Will we see volcanoes? Absolutely. In the Caribbean? Nope. But I still think there's a good chance. We'll see. And I'll remind everybody, planetary orbital momentum is a thing because all the planets spin around. They all have energy. And it's all interconnected. So when you have all the gas giants on the same side, I've tracked down the dates that show we get way more volcanic activity, way more massive hurricanes and earthquakes when there is a lot less balance in our solar system, which makes total sense. Maybe if scientists weren't so wholly focused on carbon, they would figure that out as well. Now here's just a look at the precipitable water for the globe. Fascinating stuff. So, I want to thank you guys, and hopefully you will save me again and save Thor News, because I've given it my all in the 6 years that I've been doing this, and especially in 2017 and 2018. I've done what I can to bring you guys important information while attempting to bring us together, though I haven't been as successfully on uniting the country and the planet as I'd like to. But as far as one of the only people I know out there who's even pushing for people to unite, and I don't know, I bring you guys great information, and sometimes I make you laugh. So whether for my birthday, whether for last month, Christmas, any contributions and donations would be greatly appreciated. You need a bit of a miracle, and anytime out there, if there are any daddy warbucks, big pocket spenders who are like, you know what, it'd help my karma to reward a great guy like Thor, because we need more people like him. If you want to make a large donation, that would be great. I don't like money, and I hate having to worry about it, but it is a necessary evil. So, I'm not good at making money. I'm just good at telling people the truth. Sometimes making jokes. So I would appreciate helping me survive and continue to do what I love to do, which is help everybody be prepared for the future we will be facing with these earth weather changes, which will become increasingly more drastic over the next 3 to 6 years due to the planetary alignments. And people might say planetary alignments don't matter, but yeah, dude, I mean, if you get all the planets on the same side of the orbit, that is definitely going to make a difference. So I will leave a PayPal link in the information box, and I will hit you guys with a ton of videos over the next 48 hours. So everybody stay cool and try to have a great day and be positive, and don't let the bastards drag you down, because we will make it through this. Just as I predicted hurricanes hitting the United States accurately, I predict that civilization will eventually get out of retrograde in the future, and good days will return for us all. God bless everyone. Stay cool, and let us live long and prosper together. May the force be with us always.